Hey there, welcome to This Explainer. I'm honestly so thrilled you're joining us today. Look, if you've ever felt completely trapped, just endlessly trading your hours for a paycheck, you're in the absolute right place. Today, we're unpacking a seriously transformational concept. We're going to look at the exact playbook that shifts you from a standard, everyday employee mindset straight into becoming a true wealth builder. We're breaking down the core principles of financial intelligence for entrepreneurs. So get ready, because the way you look at a business and, frankly, your own bank account is about to fundamentally change. Okay, let's dive into this with the most important question we can possibly ask. What actually separates the wildly successful entrepreneurs from everyone else? Seriously, think about it. Think about the people who build lasting empires versus the folks who are constantly, endlessly struggling just to keep the lights on. What's the dividing line there? Well, we hear a ton of theories about this out in the wild, but our source material cuts right through all that noise. First off, it is absolutely not luck. So many people just want to write off massive entrepreneurial success as simply being in the right place at the right time. They think it's just a winning lottery ticket. But relying on luck, that's not a strategy. And it is certainly not what the top tier of business owners are actually doing. So we can just cross that right off the list. And surprisingly enough, it's not raw talent either. You could literally be the most incredibly gifted graphic designer, the most brilliant software coder, or the most charismatic salesperson in the whole room. And hey, talent is fantastic, but talent alone doesn't build a sustainable, wealth-generating enterprise. There are incredibly talented people going bankrupt every single day. So if it's not luck and it's not talent, what on earth is the secret? So the crucial point is, the dividing line is financial intelligence. This right here is the bedrock of our playbook today. It's basically the ability to understand exactly how money works, how to make smart financial decisions based on that understanding, and ultimately, how to use those decisions to actually grow wealth over time. It's a distinct skill set. Honestly, it's a language. And just like any language, it can absolutely be learned, practiced, and completely mastered. To truly grasp financial intelligence, we kind of have to contrast two very different ways of operating in the world. See, most of the population operates on a super simple premise. They work for money. They trade their time and their energy for a fixed currency. But smart entrepreneurs, they operate completely differently. They make money work for them. They view every single dollar not just as something to go out and spend, but as a tiny little employee that can go out into the marketplace and recruit even more dollars. The rules we're about to cover, they're the exact bridge that takes you from that first mindset right over to the second. Which brings us to rule number 1, know your numbers. This is your operational foundation. Now, we all know the basic definitions of revenue, expenses, profit, and cash flow, right? But the source material stresses that knowing them casually just isn't going to cut it. Ignoring the daily interplay of these 4 specific metrics, it's literally like trying to fly a massive commercial jet blindfolded, completely ignoring the dials and the gauges. You might stay in the air for a little while, but eventually, you're going to clash. A financially intelligent entrepreneur doesn't just, glance at these numbers at tax time. They use them to actively steer the ship every single day. Moving on to rule number 2, cash flow is king. This is all about protecting your business's lifeblood. And this brilliantly illustrates something that catches so many new entrepreneurs completely off guard. Listen, on paper, your business can look highly profitable. Maybe you closed a massive deal, the invoice is sent out, and the profit margins look incredible in your accounting software. But if that client hasn't actually paid you yet, and payroll hits today, you can literally run out of cash and go under. A profitable business can completely fail and shut its doors if the cash dries up. You absolutely cannot pay your employees or your rent with paper profits. You just can't. You have to always aggressively protect the actual timing of money moving through your accounts. Next up is rule number 3, assets versus liabilities. This right here is the true wealth engine. You really have to clearly separate these two concepts in your head permanently. An asset puts money in your pocket, like maybe a piece of specialized equipment you rent out, a commercial property, or some custom software that brings in recurring revenue. A liability, on the other hand, takes money out. Think of an oversized flashy office lease or financing a luxury company car just to, look the part. The financially intelligent filter is actually super simple. Before you spend a single dollar, you just ask yourself, is this buying me an asset or am I just funding a liability? Your ultimate goal is to accumulate as many income-generating assets as humanly possible. All right, rule number 4, the long-term wealth mindset. It's time to start playing the long game. See, amateurs tend to chase quick, easy profits. They want that fast cash today, even if it totally compromises tomorrow. But the truly successful entrepreneurs, they focus their precious time and energy on building lasting foundations. They're building automated systems that can literally run while they sleep. They're building deeply trusted brands that can command premium pricing so they don't have to sit there and argue over pennies. They make strategic investments. Essentially, they're planting seeds today for trees that will bear fruit and create sustainable wealth for decades to come. And to actually maintain that wealth engine, we have rule number 5, never stop learning. The world of money is just constantly evolving, and your financial intelligence has to evolve right alongside it. You really have to commit to continuous study, read books, actively study successful businesses to see exactly what they're doing right, deepen your understanding of investing, master the realities of tax strategy, and absolutely perfect your budgeting. I mean, this isn't just busy work. This is the mandatory maintenance required to keep your whole machinery running smoothly. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it visualizes something we kind of already know. Money compounds, right? You earn interest on your interest. But the profound truth from our source text is that financial knowledge compounds exactly the same way. The textbook you read today informs the investment strategy you execute tomorrow, which then helps you build a much better operational system next year. Every single piece of knowledge stacks on top of the last, accelerating your growth and dramatically multiplying your financial intelligence over time. It's like a snowball effect.
Which brings us to the final paradigm shift, rich versus truly wealthy. This is about building freedom. Most people out there think these two words mean the exact same thing, but honestly, they're incredibly different. Being rich is simply about earning more money. You can have a massive salary or, a record-breaking month in revenue. That makes you rich. But if you turn around and spend all of it on liabilities, well, you're right back to zero. Being wealthy, though, is about retention and multiplication. It's the ability to actually keep the money you make, grow it through really smart investments, and multiply it across generations. To put it simply, wealthy is owning the assets. Rich is just having a high-paying job.
And that specific distinction leads us to this incredibly powerful quote directly from the source material. The entrepreneurs who master financial intelligence don't just build businesses, they build freedom. I love that. That is the true culmination of everything we've talked about today. Knowing your numbers, protecting your cash flow, buying assets, thinking long-term, and continuously learning. None of this is just about having a bigger bank account to brag about at parties. It is about buying back your time. It's about waking up every single day and having the ultimate freedom to choose exactly how you want to live your life.
So, I want to leave you with a really vital question to think about. If the difference between endless struggling and ultimate freedom is entirely a choice, how will you start improving your financial intelligence today? The playbook is right here. It's yours. The transition from working for money to making money work for you is completely in your hands. So what's your next move going to be? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.